name is Zach Anderson, and welcome back for another episode number 3, where I'm going to teach you the top 5 questions of what to ask when you're searching for new management for your investment properties. So let's dive in. How many years of experience does your company have? It's the number one question I get. I'd say it's probably tied with the next question as well, and if it's not, it's literally the next question that they ask. But how many years of experience does your company have, and particularly how many years of experience does it have managing properties? You're going to want to ask this. I think it's very clear why it's important. If you've only been managing properties as a company as a whole for a year, that can be an issue. Usually investors tell me they want their agents to have at least 3 years experience, and as a whole they would like the company as a whole to have more experience than that. But for the agent managing their portfolio, they want at least 3 years. I got a break on that just because I've had more experience in real estate outside of being licensed. So I know the area, or I knew the area early on when I started, and as far as the area of investment properties, and had enough experience to handle that situation. But they would like at least 3 years for each agent. I understand why. On a day-to-day, a property manager is going to deal with a lot of stuff, usually a lot of crap, and quite literally crap. I can tell you one time, this was only a couple of months ago. This is one of thousands of examples. I get a phone call. It's at 9 o'clock at night, and the tenant is literally calling me, telling me that there is poop shooting from their toilet straight up to the ceiling. Now, physics-wise, you wouldn't think that that's possible, but I assure you, I was sent videos. It is possible. If I still have those, at least a picture, I'll post it in somewhere in here, or maybe I'll just cover it as a whole. Yeah, those are the type of questions and calls that you're going to get all the time from your tenants. And you need to be able to deal with them quickly. You need to be available, and each agent needs to understand that that's going to happen. So when you ask that as an owner, you're not just asking for the company as a whole, but you kind of want the experience to know that they've been in every situation possible with tenant relations. So yeah, that's question number 1. The very next question, and again, this, like I said, this was tied for first in my opinion, but how much is your services cost, and what kind of service do I get for that price? And by that I mean, how much service are they covering on the building for the price that you're paying monthly in gross rent? Now, for those that do not know, property management is paid on a percentage basis of the gross monthly rent. So let's say we collect $1,000 for the building that month, and I have a contract with you to manage your building for 6%. That means we get $60 for that entire month. Now, 6% is very unlikely. I don't know anyone that does 6% unless we will do it if you have a big portfolio with us, and the clients that are seasoned with us and that we have a long relationship with, we will bring that management fee down because we have a lot of properties for them that we manage. But outside of that, we're on the subject basis of finding new management. 6%, very unlikely. But it's important to ask this question, one, because you need to play the field and see, the best price that you can get for the amount of service that you're going to receive. But make sure you ask them what services you're going to get with that price, because I know that there's a lot of companies out there that'll charge 9%, 8%, but they only do rent collection, and what they do is it's very, very sneaky. I'm not going to name any names, but they will charge you per phone call from the tenant. They will charge you per phone call from you, the owner of the building, and they will charge you for each time they have to call a contractor out to go to the property. Flip side of that, they will also, and all of these companies are different, but there's companies out there that will also charge to be at the property while they're dealing with the maintenance issues and all that stuff. Now, I get it. It's time, and you got to get paid for your time, but I look at management as a long-term relationship, and we as a company do as well. So we're not going to charge you for phone calls to tenants, phone calls to the owners. We want you to bring your entire portfolio to us, and we're going to make it as appealing with you as possible, and as profitable for you as possible, so that we can keep your business and exclusively manage all of your properties as a whole. The third question that I get most is, how many units do you currently manage as a company as a whole? Now, I think the perspective of asking this is to find out, one, how big of a company are you? And two, how good of a manager are you? I feel like there's two different ways to look at the quantity of units that a company has. Either one, they have a very small amount of units, and that could be because they're not good at managing properties and they can't get any business, but it also on the flip side could be that they're exclusively taking on a certain amount of deals so that they can give more time and more exclusive attention to their clients, but they may cost more. So that's something that you're going to want to weigh out. And on the flip side of that, they could say that they have 1,000 units in their portfolio, and that's usually they have a pretty good reputation, but that could mean less time, less face time for you as an owner. So it's going to come down to personal preference, but I think that's a question that you should ask because only you'll know the answer of what you're looking for in a management, and that'll help you get to that decision by vetting all of these companies. The fourth question that I get asked, and I think that they asked this to put me on the spot to see what I'm going to say. It's just fine with me because I have a very clear picture of what we do as a company. But they ask what our company does different from other companies that sets us apart from other companies. And I think it's a good question to ask, especially if you're vetting a lot of different companies. Now, property management companies are set up to do the same thing and achieve the same goal. They want to, manage and make sure that the client has as little headaches as possible, but also make the situation as profitable as possible for the client, while also retaining profit themselves. But there are property management companies that they're going to differ quite a bit. Depending on their structure and maybe some perks that they offer. Like we will offer financing for renovation costs if it's for big projects. Not all property management companies offer that. Not all of them can offer that. And there's a lot of different other perks that I've heard that other management companies offer that we don't offer. So it's a good question to ask to find out, what they may offer that the previous company didn't offer when you are on the phone with them, and you can compare between them. The fifth question that I get is, how often do you communicate with owners? Usually it's a very simple answer that you'll get. It's going to be somewhere along the lines of however much you want to be involved and contacted. If you want to be contacted on a daily basis, you need to make sure that you tell them that, and they may say, well, we don't do that, or we do that. But that's something that you're going to have to ask, and that'll be up to you to determine whether they're the right fit for you or not. Most newer investors want to be pretty hands-on from my experience so far. And as one of the reasons I step back a lot from property management is because I focus on building the portfolios, vetting the properties, and managing the renovations. And it got to a point where I was also managing every property that I sold, and I was just spread too thin. And owners wanted to be contacted on a daily basis when I have tenants also contacting me on an hourly basis, and I'm trying to juggle sales. So I've since fixed that, and I've got a couple more agents, and it's going well now. And I've an agent specifically for owner contact. But that is a question that is definitely going to be important, and it's only going to be important to you specifically. Only you can determine whether they're going to be able to contact you enough. And hopefully the property management company that you contact will be able to answer that honestly for you, and you can make your decision based on that. That's going to be it for this video, episode 3, 5 questions that you can ask when you're searching for a new management company. My next video is going to be on the 10 first things needed to be set in place to manage your own properties. Now, I don't recommend managing your own properties if you're out of state. However, if you want to, there is a way to do it, and I'm going to make a video on it just for you guys. And if anyone has any questions or would like to add some commentary, please put it down in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want more content, and I'll see you guys next time.